With reports, you can design reports for planning, financial consolidation and close, enterprise profitability and cost management, tax reporting, and free form. The user interface is similar between business processes. In this tutorial, I'll be working with planning. On the homepage, click Reports. You can filter the list of reports and choose to display reports, report snapshots, or both. I'll create a folder for my revenue reports. Power users with Manage Reports application role can design reports, create books and bursting definitions. Users can view books and reports. Next, I'll create a report. The Report Designer opens a canvas where you can insert, resize, and reposition objects in the header, body, and footer of the report. The body includes an initial undefined grid as a starting point. You can add or delete multiple report pages. Each page with the same header and footer, but with different content. Use the hidden sheet to hide a grid in the report, while still using it as a data source for formulas or charts. The buttons on the top right section lets you switch between edit and preview mode, add report objects, and show or hide the properties pane. The properties pane allows you to set general and layout properties for the report. Double-click the grid to set a data source for the report from the available cubes. When you add or edit a report object, it opens in its own editor. The contents of the properties pane also become specific to the object you are working with. For grid, it includes tabs for column, row, and cell properties, sorting, conditional properties, and drill to content. In general properties, you can change the grid's data source. After selecting a data source, the grid displays the initial selection of row and column dimensions, with time periods in columns and accounts in rows. The POV bar includes the rest of the dimensions in the cube. When you click Show Dimension Layout, the view is updated to where you can drag and drop dimensions between the POV, rows, and columns and reorder POV dimensions. Hide the dimension layout when you're done. You can set how member labels are displayed in the grid, and for multiple dimensions, you can select individual header labels. Now, I'll select members for the dimensions in the grid, starting with Scenario. To display Member Selector for a dimension, you can select it and click the Select Members icon, or right-click and choose Select Members. You can also type member names and functions directly in the formula bar. For Entity, I'll use Function Selector to include the children of a member. You can separate members into individual rows and columns to allow for formatting or use them in formulas or charts. I'll add a separator row for spacing. I'll also add a column formula that calculates the actual versus plan variance as a percentage and displays a custom column heading. Next, I'll complete member selection for the POV dimensions to further filter the report. You can also use POV options like resetting to default, hiding the dimension in preview, switching between global and local POV, limiting member selection choices with display suggestions only, and printing each selected member on a separate page when exporting. I'll switch to preview mode to see how the grid will look like in the report. Notice that negative numbers are prefixed with a dash and cells with no data display a dash. There are also no formatting styles set for the grid. I'll switch back to edit mode and apply formatting options. I'll set the suppression for cells with no data to true. Format negative numbers in red and within a parenthesis. Change the font and shading color of the column headers, and add a prefix to this column which displays % data and set the decimal places to 2. I'll preview the grid again and then close it. Before I add more report objects, I'll save my report. View the Adding Report Objects tutorial to learn more about adding report objects to your report. To learn more, visit docs.oracle.com.